We need to talk about the elephant in the room, or rather, the curves in the room. If you look at history, beauty standards change. In the 90s, it was about being stick thin. In the 2000s, it was about the chest. But in 2026, we are living in the era of the glute. Open Instagram, walk into any gym. Look at the fashion trends: high-waisted leggings, scrunch-bum shorts, dresses designed specifically to hug the lower body. Women are spending millions of dollars and billions of hours specifically sculpting their hips and glutes. Now, here's the confusing part for men. Society tells you, don't look. If you look at a woman from behind, you are a predator. You are objectifying her. So, men are terrified. You walk behind a woman on the stairs, and you stare at the ceiling until your neck hurts. You act like you don't see anything. But ask yourself this. If she spent 3 years in the gym squatting 200 pounds, if she bought those specific leggings that cost $100 just to highlight her progress, if she is posting progress pics online, do you really think she wants you to pretend she is invisible? There is a massive contradiction here. She wants the validation of her hard work. She wants to be admired. But this is a big but. She hates being ogled at like a piece of meat. So, how do you bridge this gap? How do you appreciate her curves in a way that says, I respect your hard work instead of I am a creepy stalker? In this video, we are going to decode the psychology of the lower body. We are going to explain why women intentionally pose to show off their hips. Yes, they do it on purpose. We will break down the biological 0.7 ratio that hacks your male brain. And most importantly, I will teach you the respectful admire technique, the only safe way to look in 2026 without getting canceled. This is not about being a pervert. This is about understanding the silent language of attraction. Let's start with a psychological concept I call ROI. Return on investment. Here's the difference between breasts and hips. Breasts are largely genetic. You either have them or you don't unless you buy them. But hips and glutes, in 2026, that is a status symbol of discipline. A woman with a sculpted lower body has put in the work. She has monitored her diet. She has endured pain in the gym. It is an achievement. When a human being works hard for something, they crave recognition. Imagine you bought you washed it, waxed it, and parked it in your driveway. If everyone walked past your Ferrari and refused to look at a TIFF, they actively looked away, you would feel insulted. You would feel invisible. You want people to look. You want them to say, wow, nice car. You just don't want them to come up and scratch the paint or try to steal it. It is the exact same psychology with women. When a woman wears an outfit that highlights her hips, she is presenting her Ferrari. She feels proud. When you act like you don't see it, you are not being respectful. You are invalidating her effort. You are telling her that her hard work doesn't matter. I have spoken to countless women who admit in private that they feel disappointed when a guy doesn't notice. They think, does he not find me attractive? Do I look flat in these jeans? So, the first mental shift you need to make is this. Looking is not the crime. The crime is how you look. Validating her effort is attractive. Consuming her body with your eyes is creepy. Now, let's prove that she wants you to look. Women are masters of body language. Nothing a woman does with a body is accidental. If you pay attention, you'll see that women constantly shift their posture to highlight the hip-to-waist ratio. Let's break down the top 3 intentional poses designed to catch your eye. 1. The archlordosis behavior. This is primal biology. In the animal kingdom, when a female is receptive to a male, she arches her back to accentuate the curve of the hips. Humans do this too. Notice when she is standing at the bar or waiting for an Uber, she doesn't slouch. She pops one hip out. She creates a curve. Why? Because biologically, this signals fertility. She is subconsciously or consciously directing your eyes to that area. 2. The crossed leg lean. When standing, she will cross one leg over the other. Mechanically, this forces the hips to look wider and creates a more dramatic silhouette. If she does this while talking to you, it is a green light. She is enhancing her assets for your benefit. 3. The slow walk away. This is the classic move. You say goodbye. She turns to leave. Does she rush off? No. She walks slowly. She adds a little extra sway to her step. She knows you are watching her walk away. She expects you to watch. If you turn around immediately and look at your phone, you effectively failed the test. The walk away is the final flirtation. It is her leaving an impression on your mind. These are not accidents. These are invitations. She is putting the painting on display. She is waiting for the art critic you to appreciate it. Before we get to how to look, we need to forgive ourselves for wanting to look. Why is the male brain so obsessed with hips? It comes down to one magic number. 0.7 evolutionary psychologists have found that across every culture, every continent, and every era of history, men are most attracted to a waist-to-hip ratio of 0.7. Why? Because in the caveman days, this ratio signaled two things. She's not pregnant, so she is available to mate. She has high fertility. Wide hips mean she can safely birth children. Your brain is hardwired to scan for this geometry. It is a survival mechanism. When you see that curve, your brain releases dopamine. This is why you can't just stop looking. It's like telling your lungs to stop breathing oxygen, so stop feeling guilty. You are a man. You are programmed to appreciate this form. The goal is not to fight your biology. The goal is to civilize it. Here is where 99% of men get it wrong. Looking at hips is trickier than looking at breasts. Why? Because usually, you are looking at her back. She can't see your face. She can't see your smile. She can only feel that someone is staring behind her. And that can be terrifying for a woman. So, how do you do it? Scenario 1, she's walking away ahead of you. The rule, the 2-second horizon. You can look, but you cannot lock on. If you stare fixedly at her lower body while walking behind her, you emit a predatory energy. She will feel it. She will pull her jacket down or walk faster. Instead, use the horizon method. Look at her, appreciate the form, then lift your eyes to the horizon, the environment, the path ahead. Look. Horizon. Arisen. This keeps your energy light. You are aware of her, but you are not hunting her. Scenario 2. She is posing, standing near you. The rule. The impressed face. If she is wearing that tight dress and standing with her hip popped out, she wants you to notice. When you look, your facial expression matters. The creep face. Mouth slightly open, eyes wide, blank stare. This says, I want to touch. The gentleman face. Eyes narrow slightly. A subtle nod. A small smirk. This says, damn, that's impressive. You want to look like you are appreciating a fine piece of architecture. Respect looks like admiration. Thirst looks like desperation. Scenario 3 and T. Compliment advanced level. If you are dating or flirting, you can verbally validate it. But be careful with your words. Don't say, nice ass. Too vulgar. Too cheap. Do say, whatever routine you're doing at the gym, it's definitely working. Do say, that dress is dangerous. See the difference? You are complimenting her effort or her style, which indirectly compliments her body. It allows her to say thank you without feeling objectified. A final, crucial warning. The gym is the most dangerous place for the male gaze. Yes, she is wearing leggings. Yes, she is doing squats. But the gym is a sanctuary. In the gym, the rules are different. If you stare at a woman mid-set, you are not admiring her. You are interrupting her focus. Eat, and noling. The mirror trick. If you want to admire her in the gym, use the mirrors. Never stare directly at her glutes while she's working out. It makes her feel unsafe. Catch a glimpse in the mirror, appreciate the hard work, and then get back to your own set. Let her be the main character in her movie. Don't be the villain lurking in the background. In 2026, the lines between flirting and harassment are blurry, but the core truth remains. Men love curves. And women love being the reason a man turns his head. She didn't do those 10,000 squats for the wall to look at her. She didn't buy those jeans for her cat to appreciate. She wants you to look, but she wants you to look with status. She wants to be admired by a man who can control himself, not a boy who She wants you to look at her hips and think, she is powerful, not just I am hungry. So the next time she walks away from you slowly, or pops that hip out, don't look at the floor. Enjoy the view, appreciate the art, and then get back to your mission. That is what women really want.